Hello everyone, welcome back to the HTML for Beginner series here on Smoq Dev. I'm Kingsley and today we are going to talk about HTML tags and elements. In our previous video, we discussed about the structure of a HTML document. So if you have not been following us, let me give you an overview of what we have done so far. We have a typical HTML template here. We have the HTML tag, which is the parent tag for all HTML documents. We have the head and the body. In the head, there is a title. In the body, there is a H1 tag and a P tag. This here represents the H1, that's for heading, and this for paragraph. So guys, these HTML tags defines how contents are formatted on the web page. For example, if you look at this H1 tag, you find out that this content between the opening and the closing tags are bolder and has a larger font than these guys right here. That is than these paragraph tags. So if you observe very well, you find out that everything here is angle brackets, then one stuff like that, then a closing angle bracket. So, and if you also observe very well, you find out that every opening tag here has a corresponding closing tag. Though there are self-closing tags, but we'll talk about that later in the series. So guys, let's talk about these tags one after the other. We'll take the H tag first. The H tag, I will delete everything inside the body, and when you save, you get a blank page. So the H tag, H stands for heading. So it has different layers. The H1, which is the first heading, the H2, which is the second heading, up till H6, which is the heading level 6. H5, then H6. So these are the 6 different levels of the heading. So H1 is going to be bolder and bigger than the H2, as well as the H3, the H4, H5, and finally H6. So let's put some content here. This is H1. This is H2. This is H3. This is H4. This is H5. This is H6. And when I save, you can see right here, this is H1, this is H2, this is H3, this is H4, this is H5, this is H6. Forgive my misspelling. Correct this and this. So, and please don't forget to install this live server. As you can see, every change that I make in this code, like, reflects on real time on my browser, because I'm running a live server. So if you look at this this stuff here, this H1 is bigger and bolder than the H2, as well as H3, as well as H4, as well as H5, as well as H6. So guys, I hope with this you understand how the heading tag works in the HTML documents. So the next tag on our list is the paragraph tag. The paragraph tag is used to display text, normal text, as a paragraph or just regular text. So let me show you what it looks like. So if I save, so you have this on your screen. So the font weight is 10 and the font size is 16. That's default for every paragraph tag. So just use it regularly or normally when you just want to display regular text on your screen. Then the strong tag, on the other hand, is used to display text that are very, very important. So when you want to show importance to a text, you want to draw attention to a particular word or text or anything at all, use the strong tag. So let's say, for example, we want to say warning, something like that. So you use a strong tag like this. So it does not only make the text bold, but it also tells Google that this piece of text is very, very important to the page. So the paragraph, the strong tag rather, it's not the same with the bold tag, which we are going to discuss in the next video. But it might appear the same, but semantically, it's not the same. The next on our list is the emphasis tag. The emphasis tag makes the text italicized. So EM, this text is italicized like this. And as you can see, it is italicized. The next on our list, guys, is the anchor tag. The anchor tag is represented by just an angle bracket A. And unlike the other anchor tags, this anchor tag has the text that comes in between the opening and the closing tag is called the anchor. Let's say this is the anchor text. Then this. If you save it, it's going to display like a regular text or paragraph, but there is an attribute that this anchor tag accepts that called href. This href is a link, like it links this text to an external web page. For example, if there is a web page or there is a position in this document that you want the browser to scroll to or to go to when you click on this text here, you put that link here. For example, we can just say hash because we're not going anywhere. And when you save it, you can see that the text have changed from black to blue, which now displays as a link to somewhere, and it now has an underline. So when you click it, because we just put hash, it is not going anywhere. But let's say, for example, put something like https google.com, and when you click it, it will now go to google.com. It's loading. Yep, we are here. So when you go back, we are back to our web page. So guys, that's how the anchor tag works. Guys, now that we have talked about 3 to 4 regular HTML tags and elements, let's talk about the self-closing tags. So as the name implies, there are tags that don't require a closing tag. So there is an opening and there's a closing, but these tags called self-closing tags does not necessarily require a closing tag. So I'm going to talk about a few of them. The first one is the image img, which goes like this. So the self-closing tag typically is an opening angle bracket, the text, then a /, and then the closing angle bracket. This is a typical structure of a self-closing tag. So for the image, we have a source. This source is an attribute of an image tag. So this source is the source of the image. That is the link to the image that I want to display. So we are going to go to Google and look for any random image. Let's look at this. Okay, so we're going to copy the link to this image, copy image address. I'm going to paste it here. It's quite long. So when you save, we'll go back to our web page. When you refresh, Yep. So now you can see the image now displays on our web page. So this is our document, and this is the result of this image. So this is the image also takes another attribute called the alt tag. That's the alternate text, but we're going to talk about HTML attributes and properties later in another video, maybe. So another self-closing tag that we must talk about is the BR tag. So this BR stands for line break. Let's say, for example, earlier in this video, we talked about, we looked at strong, and we said that it makes text bold. And when you save, you can see our text bold here. Then next to it, let's say we display an emphasized text. For example, if you look at these two texts, they are displaying side by side and not like up and down, like not one above the other. They are displaying side. So to separate these two texts on a different line, you throw in a BR tag. BR stands for line break, and when you save, you can see that they are now on the separate line. So that's how the BR tag works. The BR is a self-closing tag as well. It can be like this. It can also be like this. It's okay. But this is the typical structure of a self-closing tag. So the next on our list is the input tag. So the input tag it's big enough to be a video on its own, and I'm definitely going to make a video about the input tags later in this series. But as an overview, the input tag is used when you want your users to enter an input. Let's say, for example, a text. So if you want to enter a text, if you want to like allow the user to enter something into your web page, you use the input tag rather. So this is an input tag, and when you save, yeah, you can see this here. So I'm going to throw in another line break here so that it will be on a separate line. So as you can see, this is, I can type in something and something like this. I'm typing something like this on this input tag. So there are different types of input tags based on the parameter that is accepted. This one is text, there is password, there is email, there is file, there is image. There are a lot of them. So, but I'm going to stop here for this video. Later in the series, I'm going to talk about inputs as a video on its own. The next is the horizontal line. So I'm not going to delete. I'm just going to come in between this strong and this line break and throw in a horizontal line. So it's just HR. It's an opening anchor, HR, and // optional and a closing anchor. And when I save, you can see a horizontal line between this bold text and this italicized text. Okay guys, so far in this video, I know you must have been wondering what is the difference between tags and elements. It's very simple. Tags are just this opening and this closing tag, or rather for self-closing tag, just this. This is simply a tag. This is a tag. This is a tag. This is a tag. This is a tag. This right here is a tag. This is a tag. These are tags everywhere. But when we talk about an element, so element is the whole thing all together, both the opening tag, the content in between, and the closing tag. So I'll be using them interchangeably, but just know that the HTML element is this opening, content, closing, opening, content, closing, all together is an element, whereas tags are just the individual angle brackets and what's in between. HTML attributes adds information to our HTML elements. So they provide additional information. They send the contents, the additional message. For example, this image tag here does not have a source. Like it won't display anything until we add this source tag, source attribute. Sorry, this source attribute tells the image where to pull the image from. So if I paste this, I've already copied this link from Google. So if I paste it and save, we'll have our image. So other attributes include the auth, which provides an alternate text to the image. So I'm just going to say go image here. To understand how this alternate text work, let's say for example I remove this G and save. The image will be broken and the alternate text will be written here. I'm going to replace. So without the image, the document will display the text. If the image is available, the text will not be displayed. So another attribute is the width attribute. So as you can see, this Google image like covers the whole width of our page here. So I'm just going to add the width attributes and say, for example, 25 pixel and save. As you can see, it is very tiny. So I'm going to make it 200 pixels and I've adjusted the width, this single attribute, and same goes for the height. I can also say 700 pixel and yep, you can see it's distorted, but it works. If I say 300, for example, we'll have something like this. So in conclusion, guys, the HTML tags define the content. The tags, these tags right here, alongside the attributes, plus the contents, plus the opening and the closing, plus whatever it is, but the whole tag, the content, and everything as a whole is the element. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into working with text and formatting. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell. I'm Kingsley. See you in the next video.